sun, the rain. Just got the Jeep back. We're driving. Something going on with the transfer case. Our technician said he needs to make sure it's in auto. Sometimes with these Jeeps, there's a sensor inside the case, and the fluid that is in the case seals around it. So our technician said, listen, your truck is okay, make sure it stays in auto. Occasionally these four-wheel drive vehicles can be very temperamental, and I had an SRT Jeep and the transfer case was basically toast. It wasn't like I was doing whole shops or reckless driving, although I caught my son doing an all-wheel drive burnout. He thought I didn't see him do that. But transfer cases are very delicate. Basically, it sends power to the front and rear axle, and there's a chain and a gear. So I'm surprised that that thing is even that strong, but we're talking about a 600 horsepower vehicle without the nitrous, 600 horsepower vehicle without the nitrous. So you can imagine all the torque. I'm not even gonna run the light. I don't need no problems, right? You got to make good decisions like that, because if you start running lights, you're going to have problems, and I don't need any problems. So what we're talking about is real life driving. Welcome you in, right? I'm an instructor driving with Miles, and imagine if I would have ran that light, possibly by the police station. You want to make good decisions, okay? So what time is it? It is 4:48 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to hit rush hour. We're kind of in an industrial area, picking up the vehicle. The one thing I can suggest to all of you, have a good technician. Have someone you can trust, you can talk to, who's not just going to take your money. We have a guy like this, and usually they're the OGs. They're in their 40s or 50s. They race cars. They love cars. I should have made a video inside the garage. There was a 70, either 69 or 70 red Corvette, 4-speed car, really beautiful. I don't even know if you guys even know what that is, man. But it was a beautiful red Corvette. I'm not talking about Purple Rain. Okay, that was Prince. But it costs money, and usually it's $125 an hour if you take it to the dealership. And the dealership has a flat fee, so you know what you're paying. And then they have to diagnose your vehicle. What does this mean? They're diagnosing your vehicle. They're plugging it up to a machine. They're going to run it through to try to recreate the problem. So our technician drove the car for a day. He set this is a gear select. There is auto, snow, sport, and sand and mud. So if you leave it in auto, the sensor and the computer will tell you what four-wheel drive. Hey E, how are you? E, we're just talking. So E, I'm always sharing information. So I got an email from Meta, because I used to Meta Ray-Bans. You know this. It's the least thing I heard all day. Not so good. What's going on? What's the problem? Okay. So I got an email from Meta Ray-Bans, and they are basically talking to content creators. And you know that I'm over 2.3 on Instagram, making videos, first person with the Meta Ray-Bans. So I signed up for a hour talk. It's from 11 to 12. And I'm off work tomorrow, so I can take off some time, right? And then from 1 to 2:30, I'll be meeting with some possible donors who want to, because I want to do the nonprofit with driver's education and social emotional. So I took a day off work tomorrow. I have to pick up my daughter's Jeep. I'm in her Jeep right now, right? What's going on? Okay, let me switch angles. I'm here at her Jeep right now. I got on the blue vest yesterday. He had on the red vest, right? So I got on the blue vest today, right? Because, you know, you got to be festive, right? Holiday colors, right? So I got on the blue, and then I bought a red one yesterday. There's a yellow one, but it was gone at the store. I went this morning to pick it up. So, you know, I'll be trying to be dressy casual, right? Let me switch angles around. Okay, so from 11 to 12, there is the Meta Ray-Ban like meeting. They want to talk to you, show you how to make better content. And then from, yeah. So yes, it's hard when you're down to one car because my daughter had to like take me to work and pick me back up. It's nice. I feel like I'm on an Uber or a Lyft. But she's trying to sell houses. She's trying to do what she needs to do. Okay, so I can understand that. And then we just picked up her Jeep. And I said, hey, we can switch everything because she's got all her real estate stuff in the back, her signs, you know, all her stuff. She's got her clothes, you know, in the back. So I say, hey, I can switch vehicles with you. But she always runs her vehicle low on gas. Like there's 46 miles range in this. And then in my wife's truck, it's like 88, you know. So, but she closed a couple of deals. She's just waiting for it to be finalized. And then one thing I'm learning is that Zillow will get their money off the top. Zillow gets 14% or more. I don't know how much I can say. But Zillow has a lot of the real estate market. And they have a lot of layers behind them. If you find a house on Zillow, you're instantly going to be sent to an agent in your state, in your area. And if that agent is connected with Zillow, and I'm learning this from my daughter, they're going to get a call. Zillow sets up financing. They set up everything. So basically it's plug and play, but that's like 14%. Like my daughter can make 10K, but 14% of 10K, right? And then you're right, E, she's got to split with the people at the real estate company. So she'll make $2,000 to $4,000, okay? Because she's not an independent agent. She's with a group of about 8 to 10 females called the Hines Group. They're all over the United States. And she went to Texas. You remember I told you she went to Texas to talk to the owner of Hines Group. He's in Austin. He's like a multi-millionaire. So she won that trip to Texas, and she's got a lot of stuff, and she is really like locked in. She's locked in to focus on real estate because you know you live and die by a commission, right? Either you're gonna make 2, 4, 6, 10,000, or you're starving. So we're just trying to be patient. But her truck, I think it might be a 2019 Grand Cherokee Limited, leather interior. This boy is nice. I know you can see the seats back there. Leather interior, right? So this used to be my wife's vehicle. We gave it to her because she needs a vehicle. She's going all over the state. She's driving around. She was supposed to go to Ohio to hang out with her friend, but that trip got canceled because we don't want the vehicle breaking down and then I'm gonna have to go get her, right? Okay, because you can't have your daughter, a family member, stranded in another state. Real talk. Yeah, she's very driven. And probably when I retire, I'm talking about 2032. You know, I keep saying, you know, when I'm going to retire in 2032, I want to be able to transition to something else. So this is why tomorrow's so important. The Meta Ray-Ban stuff, that's fun. I'll learn how to make better content. I think I'm at 2.3 or 2.1 million views on Instagram, and I think I'm at 2.1 accounts that have been interactive. Because if you make good content or good title, like E, if you do hair, you know, whatever you do, if you make a video and post it on Instagram and it blows up, you're going to blow up too. And then people are going to start looking at your profile and they're going to say, hey, do you do this? Can you sell this? Can you sell that? So I'm still learning about Instagram. I had one in the beginning. I used to call myself the automotive enthusiast. I had a lot of car stuff. Then I started like posting life stuff on there, not real interesting stuff. But then I started posting the driver's ed stuff. And then that's what hit. I have one video, I think it's at 1.2 million. I've never had a million view video. And then I have another video, it's like 100,000. Another video is at 50K. So if you keep making those same type of videos and people like them, they're just going to keep going. And Instagram will put it out to people who want that type of content. Okay, if I did hair, don't be trying to cap on me. I got a haircut. I'm crispy. Okay. Whatever you make and people like it, like you could cook, you could do designer stuff, and you'll keep making those videos. I haven't went live on Instagram in a while, so I need to go live. I do mainly reels. Occasionally I do stories, but they only last 24 hours. So, but I'm learning, make videos of yourself getting up in the morning, going through McDonald's. They don't make cars like that anymore, and they're not good for the winter, right? You're in the Northwest. It's winter time now, and you don't want to be in a vehicle that's really made for the summer out in the winter time. So, but yeah, I know my path, and I know it's going to take time. Unlike all of you, you got to take time too in your path, okay? And things don't happen easily, and a week from now it's going to be Thanksgiving, okay? So I'm just trying to be prepared, so when I get evaluated, I get a good evaluation, trying to keep things thorough. I always try to be ready. I never want to be caught slipping. And that's one thing that I want to say to all of you guys. My daughter has her truck on 1,000. I am burning up in here. I like it cold, okay? And in fact, she's got this thing on 85 degrees. I am burning up in here. Man, what is she doing? So, I know. She keeps this thing hot. I like it cool. Okay? But you can see it's a lot of heavy traffic here. Yeah, she has her heat up to high, like high as it'll go. We think she's anemic, low iron count. But she works out every morning, then goes into the real estate office, makes her calls, finds her leads, and then she's out showing people houses. Okay, so that's a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle and a lot of gas. And some people just want to go look. And we understand that, but you got to be pre-qualified. So she's slowly learning her craft, and she's slowly learning her skill set. I told her, you need to go ahead and just post this on Instagram, a day in the life, talk about your journey. Because I think people who like real estate want to know, well, what is it like if I'm approved? What is my budget? If you're pre-approved, that helps the agent find listings for you. And the biggest thing, you got to have a 700 plus. You could have a 580, a 620, but the higher your credit rating, the better percentage loan you'll get. We understand that, and things are very expensive right now. Cars, houses, getting a condo. A lot of people want condos. They don't want to mess with cutting grass and doing stuff on the house. But those association fees are killer, right? Those association fees. I'm kind of looking at my haircut. It looks like I got a big chunk in the front, but I really don't. The lady gave me a nice tight low haircut, and then I set up for another appointment on December 21st, right? But I'm never a person who usually takes off work. I always like work all the time, so I have days that carry over. I think I got 20 personal time off days, and we can cash those out at the end of the year. So this is kind of out in the suburban areas, wooded. I'm just taking my time because at 6:30 I have to give a segment 2 test session. So I'm just happy we have the second vehicle back, because sometimes, as you know, when you rely on someone else, it's a little stressful to get a ride to pick you up. This gets a little stressful down here. So, and then my son, he was in the city. Okay, right? My son was in the city working on his LLC, and his girlfriend works for the city commissioner, and she's in touch with all the police captains or branches in the city. I think I'm saying this right. So she is networking. It's who you know. So her friend got her that job. She's making about $60K. I think she's in, it's either $26.50 an hour or $28.50 an hour. Okay, so she's very humble, and then she wants to be a lawyer. So my battery is low. I'm gonna try to talk to you as much as possible, because you know, usually every morning I stream, but my daughter's like, Dad, I just want to talk to you. You don't have to do that. I'm like, okay. Yeah, definitely. But this is a really peaceful road. You can tell. And sometimes it's nice to learn a different route. Like on Thanksgiving, you know I'm gonna cut up, right? I'm the crazy person at Thanksgiving. Hey, how you doing? Nice. And then here's all this traffic. The last time I went over here, we're gonna drive through this little home area. The last time I brought you over here, they were just starting to build these homes up, and these homes are anywhere from $550,000 to $650,000, right? I'm going to take you through this area just to show you, you know, the prices of new homes. Okay, basically we're kind of in an open area, you know, farmer, someone had a farm, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, and now they sold it. So I'm getting ready to take you to this new real estate. You're going to be surprised at these homes, okay? Because I used to take students over here driving, and in less than a year, okay, take a look at these homes, See this? All right. Okay, this is new homes. 500,000, 550 and up. Okay, all these homes. This is new. Okay, all this. And we just, because less than 3 months ago, this is open field. Okay, so we just gonna drive through. That house is nice. Okay. So who lives here? Like young married couples working for General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, internet startup companies. You know, it's a pretty nice house. I like to look through because it gives you a vision. I've always tried to be a visionary. Okay. You can see these homes. Isn't this nice? Brand new sub. No neighbors yet, no drama. Right. Young. Ooh, I thought I saw a wolf. I'm tripping. Coyote. There are coyotes out here. Don't think it's not. Okay. You see them building homes up there. I would have fell off because I have no balance. I have no business being on top of the roof like that. That's crazy. I'm gonna take you around. It's a big old loop. You know, they dig the foundation, pour the basement in. They build in these houses. Yeah, isn't that crazy? The last time we drove through here, it was just nothing. Yes. What's this guy doing? Okay, he's just backing up. I'm driving around. I just want you to see these houses. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm all up in their construction, bro. See, putting these foundations in. All this was woods. Man, they got some nice houses back here. Okay, I'm gonna take you all the way around. Real nice construction here. See them building up. Yeah. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna try to talk as long as I can until my battery dies. Isn't this really beautiful? Like, I would love a house in the back, like this. Isn't this nice? Man, bro, yes. See, I want my house in the back of this. Yes, please. Isn't this nice? So I'm gonna turn around. But less than 3 or 4 months ago, this is all land. Okay? So it's really beautiful to go through here. You know, new families in, you know, school, you know, jobs, promotions. We'll be positive. We're not gonna say divorce. We're not gonna say people cheating on their spouses. But these are some nice houses, 500,000 and up, 550, 650. Some nice houses, man. Really, they're a little close to each other, but nice. This is a dead end. I gotta go straight through. But they're pouring in foundations right now. Up, there's this big vehicle. You get a chance to see real life here. I'm going to, I think I can go this way. Yeah, I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, they working, man. They're working. You can see all these houses. Oh, man, bro. Ooh. Okay. Beautiful houses. You see it. Are there houses like this in New York, in your area? And I know houses in your area are very expensive. Very expensive. Okay, I'm trying to get out of here. Okay, yeah, there are people living in here already. Okay. New sod, new everything. Yeah, parts of the city. Yes, I get it. Well, look, I'm going to go pick up my daughter. She wants to go eat together. So daughter and dad, we're going to hang out. I want to say I love you guys. I appreciate you. My battery's almost dead. I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll be going live tomorrow. Bye, guys.